Are you excited?
I'm very excited to be here.
You know why we're excited? We're excited because this is the first episode of the Top of the Bottom podcast, or as for short, abbreviated, I call it TOTB cast. The Top of the Bottom podcast. This is
TOTB.
the first episode that we're launching for our channel. I'm really excited. We got a lot of fun stories coming up for you guys. I kind of want to talk about us first. Like, we'll intro you, and then I'll tell you exactly what you can expect from the rest of this channel and the podcast itself, and because we got a lot of good things in store for you. So first, when we talk about the intros, I want to intro you to my co-host, Jay Aleman. For you, those of you who don't know me, because I'm assuming most of you who are watching this for the first time will be meeting both of us for the first time.
Definitely first episode.
My name is Jeremiah Jordan, and with me is my co-host, Jay Aleman. Jay,
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell me what is your experience like in the industry that we're working in so far?
Honestly, so far, here's the thing. So I was getting into the industry right before COVID happened, so honestly, not much went on, really. I was on a couple sets here and there, commercial sets here in Los Angeles, downtown LA. But other than that, I'm getting back into it, especially with Top of the Bottom. We're starting in projects. And honestly, I'm really excited to just see what goes on next.
That's awesome. When you approached me about your experience in the industry, that's kind of why, since you had already been on professional sets, I kind of wanted that type of experience with a part of this team.
Right.
For those of you who don't know, as I stated before, I'm Jeremiah Jordan. I am the founder of TOTB, Top of the Bottom Entertainment, and I'm independent. I'm completely independent. I had been studying film in school for about 2 years before I decided I'm not really a camera guy. I'm more of a producer. I've taken many business classes. I have just a love for organization and management. So I decided that, and listen, I love YouTube too. I love YouTube. I love podcasts. I love multimedia. And that's kind of been my signature thing, multimedia. So I've worked on a few student films of my own. I've written student films. I've worked on independent shorts. I've worked on music videos for bands, local bands, and bands that are at one point, I would say, had a peak in global popularity at one point back in the 30s. Okay, but it's something. It's something,
Hey, it's something.
So, and I figured, it's kind of hard for students, at least when they're starting out, to get a job themselves in the industry, because it's in this world right now, industries aren't taking risks. They are very risk averse. And it's not like it was back in the 80s. Back in the 80s and 90s in film, you just grab somebody off the street and you make them work for your set. Now, because there's so much money involved, it's very hard to say that, I'm going to pick this kid out of school. It's interesting because when you're in school and you're studying for film and you're working on something like this, you have to have experience, even though you're learning at the same time, which is really unfair. So I decided I don't need that. I can do it myself, which is why I decided to start, the TOTB Entertainment itself and this podcast with you as my co-host.
Definitely. People aren't taking that many risks anymore. And again, I can say the same thing about myself. People aren't really out here, really just choosing anybody to do a film podcast or whatever with. And thankfully with you, I've been able to get, I think of it as a second chance, to actually come out and gain more experience than I had. And just, along for the ride as well, Top of the Bottom Entertainments. And I've gotten lucky to work on a couple of your sets. Couple sets during a school thing, though, nothing out there but school sets, which have been fun. Smaller sort of smaller I want to say smaller sets, smaller ideas, but definitely that feel. I get that motivation, to be back in it for sure.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate your kind words, but you know who else took a big risk?
Who took a big risk?
Sony took a big risk with Madam Web, and it didn't work out. It's seemingly usually it's kind of there's this juxtaposition between what critics see as good and what fans see as good. And for this film, it seems to have been a common consensus that it was just terrible overall.
Yeah.
You know?
It was all one-sided.
It was all one-sided, and we know this for certain now. It is official that this movie was garbage. And we know this because the GOAT, Hideo Kojima, has spoken himself. He only used 6 words to bury the film. We're looking at an article right now by Total Film, and the title is alone. It says, Madam Web has been reviewed by Hideo Kojima, and it's taken him just 6 words to bury the film. Hideo Kojima's Twitter profile proudly states that 70% of his body is made of movies, and it shows on his social media page too. The legendary video game developer continually reviews movies and shows, both old and new. While Kojima is never downright brutal with his verdicts, one rule of thumb sticks out. Long reviews equal good. Short reviews equal bad. By that metric, Madam Web might be one of the worst movies Kojima has ever seen. The Spider-Man Universe spin-off starring Dakota Johnson as the titular Madam Web has flopped both commercially and critically, garnering only $90 million at the box office and sitting with 13% with reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes. Now Kojima only adds to the growing voices of displeasure with his own review. Saw Madam Web at the theater.
That's all he had to say?
That's it. That's the whole tweet. That's everything.
That's his entire movie review.
That is
he
it.
He saw the movie, and that's it. He saw the movie.
It was a movie to him. It was a movie.
Not a good movie, apparently.
Apparently, he didn't want to say. It was just, it was the most movie he's ever seen.
The most movie he's ever seen.
And apparently, he's done this type of thing before. According to the article, this 2017's remake of The Mummy and X-Men Dark Phoenix were included in his short sentence reviews on Twitter, of all places. But in contrast, he has done more extensive reviews, like with Moon Knight. His review for Moon Knight almost sounds like an essay. He says, I always wanted to watch Moon Knight because I am a fan of Oscar Isaac, but I held out until the Blu-ray disc came out. What a surprise. This is so original. The artwork, the world, the direction, the pacing, it's unlike any hero movie I've ever seen. He continued, above all, the main character, Steven, is lonely and weak. I never imagined such a pathetic and unattractive Oscar Isaac, but this is the good thing. Oscar Isaac exceeds in taking on this difficult role. Excellent casting. I am looking forward to seeing more. Meanwhile, Kojima is taking his own tentative steps towards Hollywood. A Death Stranding movie in partnership with A24 Studios is in the works, which is interesting because I wonder if when his movie comes out, is he gonna if A24 Studios ruins his movie, is he gonna give it another short review? Or if it's good, is he gonna give it a long review? Is it a conflict of interest if he engages in his own movie review?
It would be, wouldn't it? He would have to be honest with it. Come on, honesty is the policy here. So, and it would be up to him, wouldn't it, if the movie would be a flop or not a flop. So, he would have to be honest about it if they ruin his movie.
If his movie is terrible and he's not honest about it, that's definitely going to hurt his credibility, don't you think?
Yeah, totally.
Because he's going to go out there and we're going to see a critical flop or a commercial flop. This is hypothetical, okay? I don't have anything against Hideo Kojima, but he is a subject to criticism like everybody else. Despite being the GOAT, the GOAT can have some bad takes, you know? So far, it seems like he's undefeated by Twitter standards when it comes to his takes. But if he has a commercial flop with this movie and he goes out there shilling for it, it's kind of hard to take him seriously after that.
It really is. It really is.
Hopefully he's honest. Hopefully that's what he does. He continues to be honest. He seems like a nice guy, and he seems like a guy who's very into pop culture. But speaking of bad takes, we're going into our first segment of this podcast. Now, you see, we're going to have rotating segments throughout the week. We'll go back to some, and we want it to be up to you guys to tell us whether or not these segments are good, if you want to see more of them. And if you don't, we'll burn the footage of them that they ever existed. We'll scrub them, and when people tell us we did it, we'll tell them no, they didn't.
Right.
We'll say no, we didn't. Like, we'll just gaslight them. We'll pretend it never happened.
It didn't happen, guy.
And if it happens to be all the segments on the first episode, then that's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. You're gonna have to rethink everything, restructure, And I hope not. I mean, definitely, give us your feedback. We totally take that into consideration, of course. Segments that are coming up, we think should be some good segments, right?
I think so, because if there's anything we learn from the internet, it's that's where most time is wasted,
Oh, yeah.
And today we're gonna waste time together looking at social media posts. That's kind of what this show is about. Most podcasts take themselves so seriously, and we're not gonna do that here.
We're not.
Especially with these takes, when people make these horrible takes, people get so pressed about it.
They do. Honestly, we're not taking sides on any of these topics, any of these situations. We're just talking about it, maybe throwing out our opinion. Don't take that serious either.
We're here to laugh at these
Exactly.
people. We're here to laugh at them, because when you see something so bad, why would you waste energy on it by talking about it? Just laugh. It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah. What's the point of getting pressed?
What is you getting pressed gonna do to them? I'll tell you what they will do. They'll protect their account, like this first subject of our Twitter threads. So this segment is called Twitter Takes.
Twitter Takes.
It's where me and Jay will scour the sewer that is Twitter, now known as X, but we refuse to call it X because it's just dumb. But we scour the sewer that is Twitter, and we pull out the worst, most toxic takes that you can find. And we're gonna laugh at them, because we're gonna see how people get pressed about it, and we're just gonna laugh, because what else can you really do, right?
Yeah, what else can you do, man? It's just things that people just blurt out.
Yeah, it's really just something that we can't control, right? So, to start off, I'd say over the weekend, or maybe before that, I think this is a few weeks old. But it's a perpetual pool of toxicity on Twitter, as we know, especially since Elongated Muskrat took over, also known as Elon Musk. That's not his real name. Don't fact check me. I'll tell you now, that's not his real name.
It's not.
But I like calling him that. And ever since he took over, Twitter has just been at its worst, which is why I love it the most now.
It's super chaotic.
It's chaotic. There's rampant, virulent bigotry all over. And bad takes, which is what this segment is all about. So the subject of our first criticism is a woman named Samira Khan. And Samira Khan is a former correspondent for RT America.
Yep.
Jay, do you know what RT America is?
I do not know what RT America is.
RT America is the Russian propaganda channel that at one point existed here in the U.S. It closed down like last year due to bankruptcy because of all the sanctions that the president put on them.
So now take it to Twitter.
Yeah, so where most jobless people go, Twitter,
right? Right.
And so instead of spreading her soft Putin apologia on RT America on national newswaves, she's spreading it on the internet where most Russian propaganda goes.
Right.
So what we see here, she decided to go on a misogynistic screed,
Yeah.
And she opens up with talking about this girl, right? Her name is Hannah Barron, and she is just this country bumpkin, this country gal,
right?
And she's just living her life. So
right.
I'm gonna show you a video of what it is that she does, and what has her so pressed, because it's very strange how anybody can just be so upset at this,
Right.
So here's her initial tweet. So she says, "The accent needs to be illegal, and women should be banned from doing manual labor like this. There is nothing feminine about American women. American women are literally men." And here's the video she's reacting to by Hannah Barron.
Good morning, y'all. Quick update on the house, because I've been pretty terrible about giving y'all these. We took a little break for noodling season and to put out boxes. Now that it's dried in, we can do it at our own pace. But here she is. We're going to stain all that wood a darker brown, and the shutters, when we get that on, we'll have handrails, of course. There's the carport over there. Quick run through. All these trusses are going to be exposed, and we're going to have old tin in the ceiling. Got Daddy and Paul up there working on a wall we're going to put up for the upstairs office. And we got Def Leppard playing in the background, of course. Back porch, beautiful view. And then the walkway to the carport. I'll try to be better about these. But you can also use my code Hannah25 for 25% off We the People holsters.
Wow, American men are very beautiful, I must say. You know?
Say that again.
American men are very beautiful, I must say.
Hey,
That was a man right there.
That's
Can
what
you believe that?
masculinity is. I don't know. Honestly, I don't get what she did wrong and what really pressed her about this. What made her think that, she was a man?
Well, it must be insecurity, because that was basically her whole take, right? And it's interesting how she feels this way because her own segment, right? Her own audience, they basically lambasted her, right? So she went on this tirade about Hannah, right? And it's seemingly what she's done is she started an internal war. And I'll show you what was some of the reactions and some of her glazing that went on of women of other types of races, right?
Right.
So she decided that she thought it would be a good idea to bring in Melania Trump in this. She believes Melania Trump is ideal when it comes to women.
Right. She also brought in Taylor Hill.
Taylor Hill, she did.
Taylor Hill was on there.
She did. She said that she was the
more than once too.
Yeah, exactly. It was more than once, and because she believed. So it seemed like she tried to backtrack on the whole masculinity thing. It seemed, even though that's what she's kind of pushing, she said that she posted four pictures of Taylor Hill, 2 with makeup, 2 without makeup, and that was to attack the men in her audience that were saying that she's only beautiful because of her makeup.
Right.
So she's taking this weird stance that, oh, you're both beautiful with makeup and without makeup, but if you do anything that's remotely masculine, you are a man, or this is work that is seemingly, or by her standards, is manly, right? She says this is what men do. I don't think that's the case, but this is her thought process.
It's her take on it. And she also goes on after posting Lebanese women are literally perfect. Again, Lebanese women are beautiful, not a bash on them. But she does go out and say that American women hold the record for the highest testosterone levels in the world. Which,
that's a bold claim.
It's a bold claim, and right under that she gets there's the what is it? Fact check.
Oh, like a community notes. Read the community notes.
Yes.
I love this community note.
Yeah, so it just goes on to say it varies in many factors, So basically, she's wrong. It's just what she wants to throw out there. It's kind of just her opinion, what she thinks it is.
There's also one more fact in there that says high estrogen can cause cancer. And what was the second? There's two defects that having high estrogen gives you, and we just know that it's bad, right? So she thinks the more estrogen you have means the more female that you are, right? And so to attack her own audience, she puts up a poll that says Levantine women, Eastern European women, or American women. And she has her audience of men's shoes, like I guess a conservative, manly men's shoes.
Yeah.
And what were the results of the poll?
Well, see, the outcome was not what she expected. The outcome was, again, out of these 3 choices, American women, Levantine women, Eastern European women, American women came in on top. They came in with a 73% by her own followers. So she was proven wrong in her own poll, so it's
she
just
got
crazy.
ratioed, is what you're trying to say.
She got ratioed, definitely. She got
ratioed.
Yeah. She got ratioed, and it's
And
just
the
so
response
funny.
to it was even better. She says she puts 2 American flags right on either end of her comment, and she says, "Free America, liberate America from tomboy occupation."
She does say that, and that's hilarious because she also goes out to say American men, high value American men, should be passport bros. They should be passport bros because American women aren't women; they're men. And then goes on to claim that if you like American women, you're gay.
Yeah, someone says, I saw a comment. A user had said, "Oh, any man would rather have this than some wimpy princess," and she responds to him saying, "Are you a homosexual?"
Oh man, and her take on this is just hilarious because, I mean, she's just been, on her own. She's on her own side, and everybody else has taken the opposite side on this. Of course, there are a couple people who agree with her, that say the same thing. That it's just not women-like for women to go out and do labor, have an accent like that as well.
She called this beautiful woman filth in one of her other comments, and so much so she was so pressed. She got this Andrew Tate, like dollar store Andrew Tate lookalike named Saad. I don't know what his first name is. I tried doing some research on the internet to see who he is. I couldn't find out, but he looks like an Andrew Tate clone. Okay. And he said he posted this, and with another video of Hannah talking more about her manual labor or knowing how to do things for herself.
Right.
He says any man that finds tomboys attractive is gay.
Exactly. That's what I was referring to. He just straight out says it's gay. And I mean, I definitely don't agree with that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I like hardworking women.
You're a heterosexual man, Jay.
I'm a heterosexual man.
What do you think of
Hannah?
Hannah? Is she beautiful?
Oh yeah, dude. Of course she is, dude. A country girl. That accent is just to die for.
It's
I
so
like that
innocent.
accent.
It's so innocent.
She's really innocent, honestly.
I like it a lot. And what? So you're of the opinion that we shouldn't outlaw her accent?
Of course not. Definitely not. Especially not just because someone doesn't like it.
That's true. That's true. What kind of view is that? And so she calls in for backup for him, and he thinks very highly of himself. I don't know if you've seen his profile, if you've gone to his bio, but in his bio he says that he is this is all it says. He is a complete and total badass in every realm of human existence.
I saw it, and that's posted by himself.
Yeah.
Right? It's his own thing.
That is what how he views himself. And listen, if he feels that way, all power to him. But I can't say that I agree. And so the YouTuber Donut Operator, who is a military veteran, former police officer, manly man of manly men here in America, he responded to a post by Hannah's friend Heather, because apparently Hannah got banned from Twitter.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, she did respond to that on TikTok.
She did, and she couldn't get her account back. But what she does say is that people who are threatened by tomboys are boring AF. Hannah is such a good human, and I am so grateful to call her my friend. And Donut Operator responded to this saying, "These are real women. They can hold their own in hunting, fishing, and surviving in general. These kind, strong women will have your back in any scenario. You should all be striving to find a wonderful person like this." And Saad responded to this. He says, check this out. The audacity of this man. He says, "Donut Operator needs to deal with his mommy issues at a therapist's office, not on the timeline. Any man that needs strong masculine women to have their back is a closet homosexual.
Wow.
High-value men seek attractive, hyper-feminine women. It's just low-life losers who are into tomboy filth because they know they can't do any better." And the community responded to this, to that very post by Saad. We got Stephen A. Smith right here saying, "Just smile patiently, y'all. We're witnessing mental illness." And then and then we got this one. I'm not gonna read this, but I'm certain you can see it. There it is, right there.
right. Okay.
And so we've got Hannah's response. Okay, and I want us to see that real quick. So this is what she had to say.
Good morning, y'all. I don't have a Twitter. I did at one point, but my account got removed for whatever reason, and I just hadn't got around to making another account. But apparently I'm trending on Twitter right now because some girl, hey Meryl, Some girl said that my accent should be illegal. Women shouldn't do manual labor. Oh, what else did she say? American women are basically men. And she just said that I was not feminine. Ooh. And I would tell y'all this girl's name, but I can't remember it because I don't have a clue who she is. So that should tell you how relevant this person is. But I just think it's hilarious because I grew up as the weird kid in high school who hunted and fished too much, because back then it wasn't cool for women to hunt or fish or the whole country lifestyle. And I'm so proud of all the women in the outdoors now who are making that more cool or popular. I'm so proud of us. I think we're doing great. But I've been helping Dad build houses since I was 15. When I was a senior in high school, I taught kids how to weld in ag class. So I've done, not manual labor. When I think of manual labor, I think of what my dad does. I'm nowhere near that. I just help as much as I can, and I try. And it's fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of blue-collar women out there who are also feminine. And so I just think that you should embrace your own individuality. You should be yourself. And don't worry about what anybody else said, because these folks talking about me and think they're going to offend me, that ship sailed a long time ago. I've been getting picked on my whole life. I grew up around men. Well, so don't be scared to build your own box and don't try to fit in anybody else's. Be your own person and you'll be happier in the long run because of that. And don't worry about what anybody else has to say. Hope y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all.
Okay, so that was Hannah's response. What her content is, she basically fishes and she catches these big old fish in her arms.
Yeah.
And if you're a woman and you always wanted to see another woman do that, you can follow her on TikTok, on Instagram, and now she's back on X.
She's back
under all the same handle as Hannah Barron 96. So if you like that, go give Hannah a follow. I think that was a great response to such vitriol,
Yeah.
But this isn't the first time that Samara has had some bad takes on Twitter. She's got other crimes.
Other back takes.
She's got other bad Twitter. She's got Twitter crimes on her.
Twitter crimes.
She is a multiple offender, a serial offender. Okay, so I've got one of these tweets right here from just. I believe this was just earlier in March of this year. She said, "I'm a woman. I shouldn't have to understand money. That's a man's job."
Wow.
Okay, so she's in my opinion, she's dealing with internalized misogyny.
I think so. I think she's still living in the past.
She's still living.
She still has those same ideals, and she's really trying to force it on everybody else.
Yeah, she really is. She seems to be very conservative, and I'm certain she's cultivated a conservative audience because she also has this tweet that attacks conservatives, but it's kind of weird because it's in the same mindset. She says, "The woke left is pro-transformer. The conservative right is pro-tomboy. In reality, transformers and tomboys are both two sides of the same satanic coin. Both are spiritually transgender."
And what does that even mean?
I guess she's just trying to be transphobic. She's trying to find any cranny of bigotry by calling trans people transformers and I guess tomboys trans people as well.
This is who's allowing her to go on X, Twitter?
Where's her husband, right?
Yeah,
her husband needs to take away her internet
this
privileges.
This guy needs to come get her.
Or if she's not married, which I don't believe she is, because I looked into her. I don't think she's married. So according to her own ideals, if her husband isn't the one controlling her, then her dad has to tell her when she's got to get off the internet.
Yeah,
so
and
her
I think this guy's not doing his job.
He's not, he's not living up to her conservative ideals, which
exactly.
is hilarious. Now this might be the worst one. Okay, I'm gonna show you something.
Okay,
this might be the worst one. Let's react to it together. Let's embrace this whole thing. Okay, she says, "The United States is a matriarchy. The American people are oppressed by the dictatorship of feminists and the tradcons. God willing, we can make America great again before it devolves into full..."
That is strong language she's using there.
Like Canada.
Definitely not ladylike.
It's not. I think this is a great first episode. We've already come across the R slur and the F slur in the first episode.
In the first episode.
In 10 minutes.
And it's all capitalized.
All capitalized. She meant it.
Oh, that came out from somewhere real deep.
She really did mean it, you know.
And she's out here really just attacking everyone.
For no reason.
For no reason. I wonder, what's the story behind all this that has her ranting about not being, feminine and just transgenders in general.
Maybe she is all those things, and or she's a grifter, and she just gets off on psyching people up, you know. So that was Samira Khan,
Right.
and I feel like, did you have something else to say?
No, you're good.
That was Samira Khan, and that's why I felt like she was the great first individual to be on Twitter Takes to be criticized, because that was deranged.
It came out of nowhere.
out of left field. It took many left turns.
Yeah.
And so the next one I want to talk about is gimmick accounts on Twitter. Okay,
Right, gimmick accounts.
we all see these. They all have the porn bots under the comments, promoting their
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Definitely.
But this one is a particular type of grift that we'll get into. But we all know there's a segment of incelism that exists on the internet and in our world, and it's a huge thing to take care of. Masculine Ego, which is a account on Twitter, is telling us his opinion in a video, a very terrible video, I should say. It's like not very good.
Yeah, no.
About telling men to not get married. It's called. He
Right.
titles it "The Dark Reality of Modern Marriage." Let's
Right.
let's react to this. Okay, hold on. We got a woman here. She says, "I want marriage," and the man says, "Okay." They get married. She says, and this is for our listening audience who aren't watching. Like, I'll just describe what's going on here.
Yeah, definitely.
I want kids. He says, okay. He's in a tux. They have a child, and they're in the park, and the kid's about, I don't know, tween age.
Right.
He's working hard.
Seems like she keeps nagging him.
Yeah, she's nagging him, and I guess he's working home, because he's on
Right.
the internet. And because if he was at work, I feel like he'd be in an office space, but she's yelling at him while he's working, so I guess he's working at home.
Right. Right.
We've got all the things he does, I guess, every day. Manual labor. He's got his wheelbarrow here.
Right.
He's got a nail on top of a block.
On top of a block, he's
He's nailing something. Is that hoeing? He's hoeing something,
yeah.
and then he's
shoveling
walking the
some dirt
dog.
and walking the dog.
That's a good man right there.
He's doing what he's supposed to. He's at his job. Look at him.
Okay, so he does have an office job. I guess he's
Yeah.
the sales manager. He's talking about the differences and ratios of sales. Right here, he's punching out. Okay, I've never seen a punch out clock in the modern marriage, but hey,
Right.
maybe those things still exist. I am just an internet degenerate. I don't know anything. Okay, he comes back after a hard day of work. She's nagging him some more. Okay,
Probably.
and then right here, he's watching the kids at the
Watching
park,
the
which is
kids,
a good dad
right.
does. She's in this next slide. She says the romance is gone, and he doesn't give me enough attention. She's talking to her friend, and her friend says, "Yeah, girl, you deserve better." Facebook dwellers.
Oh no.
She posts about it on Facebook, I guess, because there's no indication, but that's why I guess they have Facebook messages. And it's a black man. I will say this is leaning towards something. I feel like it.
You feel like it?
I feel like this.
I
Is,
thought it was funny that was a choice of person.
yeah, it's a handsome black man. You see, he looks a little like an alpha male, I must say. And he says, "You're so beautiful. I can't stop thinking about you." And she says, "Stop. I'm married." And he's playing golf, and she's yelling at him for having some good old fun.
Right.
This is their second interaction with the alpha male. He says, "Come on, let me come over for coffee while he's over at work."
Right. It doesn't seem like the dude is saying anything to her. He's just kind of out there doing his thing, doing
He's
his
just-
chores, working his job, taking care of his kids, as he's supposed to, right?
As he should. And
Right.
he's not like communicating if he feels a certain way. They're
He's
not talking about it.
He seems like he's putting up with it.
And granted, she is putting her problems out on the internet, which is a bad thing.
It is. This is kind of throwing it out there for everybody to see.
Yeah,
So everybody's gonna want to tune in on it.
and maybe that does add extra pressure to him.
It does.
So she says, "Okay, but just for coffee and chat," and then they get it on.
And then they get it on. Apparently, that's how it goes. You have coffee, and then you get it on.
And then I guess coffee and chill might be the new
Coffee
thing.
and chill.
Coffee and
Hey,
chill.
this.
So
I mean,
he's-
the basis of this whole video seems a little traditional. I guess you
Traditional.
get me.
It's a I hate women type of tradition. You know?
Yeah, it's They don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did it. All right.
We were 35 minutes. There we go.
Oh man, such a clean slate, but now that's done. That's a good edit. Okay.
So he finds out, I guess, and he says, "How could you do this to me?" He's distraught, and she says, "He made me feel special." You know, to get a divorce, she gets half his
She
money.
gets
Oh, I guess she
all
gets
the
2
money.
bags. She gets the bag. She got the bag.
She got that bag.
And he has his hands up and he's in distress. He's living alone. She's still getting on again with this
With the
guy, and
other
their dog's
dude.
watching outside the house, I guess, for some
I
reason.
guess.
The kids say, "We miss daddy," and she thinks to herself, the kids are gonna hate me. Okay.
Hey, but she knows what she's doing. She had that thought.
Then
right?
she did. And so she turns apparently she's so evil. She starts to make her kids hate their dad, okay? Your daddy is living a new life now. He doesn't have time for you. Damn.
Damn.
Okay. So he's working, he's got some problems, and he's alone watching TV.
And he's drinking.
Okay? It's your father's fault because he mistreated me and ignored me for years.
Wow, dude.
She posted about it again. This lady with the posting, man, she's got some problems.
She has a problem.
She's got to keep. She obviously was never. Her parents were never your business is your business. You know, you don't
Probably
tell
not.
everybody your business.
Kind of like the parents that would argue in public.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. If he knew that, you know, maybe he wouldn't have married her. You know,
Definitely.
Or
If
if
knew
he
how
did,
to,
and he
bro.
still did, it was his fault.
Hey,
you
man,
know?
you had a choice.
And then so she goes, "Thank you everyone for your support." 2 more alpha males replied to her. 2 more Chads, should I say?
2 more Chad.
What an asshole! It sucks that you had to go through that. And the second guy says, "I will always be there for you." This time they're white. I just have to note that.
Note that.
And but she doesn't have sex with them like she did the
She
other
doesn't,
guys.
right.
She just has her
Right.
simps.
She
That's
likes
what they
the
are.
attention.
Yeah, she likes attention. She's talking with her kids again. Your dad is probably out there with a new girlfriend while I take care of your kids. And he's alone watching TV. Here's one of the
look at
the
that.
new guy.
Looks like she has someone else coming into her house.
This was the second commenter from her post. Knock knock, woof woof. The dog. You know.
Time for
she's-
bed, kids, because we're gonna get it on.
Exactly. And now he says, "I'm depressed and lonely, and I don't know what to do." He's talking to his friend. Her husband is, and then his friend says, "Try online dating." It's also a man.
Right.
And then there's plenty of fish, throwing plenty of fish out there. This woman right here says, "Don't even bother if you are shorter than 6'2" and don't have a hot body, must have a lot of money, and treat me like a princess. My kids always come first. WTF," he says. And I guess the contrast is that there are not attractive women on dating websites, and this is what he's subjugated to. But if he chooses this is kind of his fault.
I think it would be like, they're saying that some women might be entitled.
You're right.
Right.
So he's saying that unattractive women still feel entitled to attractive men is what the message of this slide is, and that this is all he has left. This is all he has left. Like unlike he doesn't have the choice to pick her.
Right.
You know.
Right. It doesn't always go the same as it does for women online.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And so the next slide is whatever he says. "Remember, kids, Daddy loves you and misses you a lot. Whatever, Dad. We know that you have a new girlfriend and you don't have time for us." And then the text message is, "Why did you tell the kids that I have a new girlfriend? I don't have time for them." She says, "Because it's probably true, and you don't try and talk about me to them, and you'll never get to see them again." Damn, she's taking
Wow,
the kids away.
dude.
She's using them as a weapon.
Isn't that always a thing that happens?
It happens
It's always
in
a
some
threat.
cases.
It's always the same threat. Really, I'll take the kids away. You won't see them again.
Yeah. Look, that's true, and that happens in some cases. And then here he is destroying his computer because he found her Facebook posts. So I guess let me listen. No more, he says. Listen, and so that was the whole video. But listen, if he's destroying a computer off of that, maybe he had some anger issues. Okay, I'm just saying. If you notice, this whole
Could
video
be.
had no critiques of the guy.
Yeah, no, he didn't really even say anything, and it's like he's not defending himself.
He's not defending himself. He didn't say anything. He's not trying to talk to her. It's all just happening to him. It's happening to him. He's such
Just
a
let
victim.
it happen, and you gotta let it put up. You gotta put up with it.
You gotta put up with it.
Oh,
You gotta
man.
put up with it. And
What a sad life.
what I love most is that this guy's whole audience basically attacked him of men who've been married for over 30 years, and they're saying, "Hey, I've been married for 30 years. This didn't happen to me. My wife's great. You're just an incel," stuff like that. So, and what I love about that is on the bottom, because I guess he knew this was gonna blow up. He has a grift going on, and this is our segue to our second segment called Scam Alert.
Scam alert.
So this is Scam Alert, okay? And this guy, we see this all the time, happens under the Twitter. They got the thing they're shilling. This guy's pushing this book called The Secrets of Seduction, uncovering the hidden secrets of women's seduction. Okay, and on this book, apparently, is what it's supposed to be. He's gonna teach you how to find women. Okay, and he's got some reviews here about guys who've tried this out. And I'm gonna read some of the book titles, but first, I really want to see what is the price of all these books. Do you have that up there for me? Like, what is the price of how many books we got here? We got 7 books.
7 books.
7 books. Okay.
You think this was like a personal experience type stuff? The video was just about this man got his heart broken.
Yeah,
Now he
and
doesn't
maybe
trust
he's
women.
attracting the audience of that type of thing, you know. And so let's see, what is this? Okay, how come I can't move down faster? Okay. Anyway, it seems like he is this type of thing, right? We can see all these good reviews, guys who just honestly, they seem like bots, especially since you can kind of see the profiles of these guys. So I think it's about, what is it, $100
For the set or per book?
for all together. So per book. Okay, so the ultimate bundle is $40. It's $40. It's $39 altogether.
Oh, hey, that's pretty cheap.
Not bad for
Honestly,
if you're
7
struggling in
books
love,
and,
right?
Yeah, how to get some women.
How to get some women. Look, he's got some what it's going to be about: unapologetic truths about the female nature, build confidence and start dating again, dating in the modern world.
Right.
That's a lot of what you would expect from an Andrew Tate video, you know.
This sounds like it would have been him.
I feel like he probably did write it, you know, or maybe it's kind of like it's what happens when Andrew Tate does become famous, you know.
When he does become famous.
When you have a guy like Andrew Tate become famous and he starts a grift that people know is popular, this is something that we do. Okay, and so, what is this? Unlock the secrets of women's seduction, learn real life seduction techniques,
Right.
boost your confidence, develop irresistible charisma. Master the art of flirting, enhance your conversation skills, overcome approach anxiety, cultivate lasting relationships. That is something that I think that you should be common, I think, but maybe some
Right.
guys it's not. Maybe it's not. You know, maybe I'm just being judgmental. I feel like
Honestly, these days I think this applies only to the minority of guys.
that's
really.
true. I think you're absolutely right. And so some of these book titles are wild. Okay, let's take a look at them.
Let's take a look.
So here's book 1. I wonder if you have to read these in order. And I wonder if that's the thing.
Oh, right. Because 7 books
So we
doesn't
got-
really tell you how are you supposed to go about it.
Okay, you want to read off some of the titles for me?
Yeah. So here's one of them: The Thrill of Approach. I guess approaching women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's one that I thought was a little funny. Maybe I'll take a read. I'm not sure. It's 7
review.
bad boy traits you should have.
Oh, nice.
7. Can you believe that?
There's
I just put a 3 up. 7 bad boy traits you should have. So, girls like bad boys, and that's the truth.
Hey, want to go commit a crime?
Hey,
commit some
yeah.
crimes.
Let's go treat women badly, and maybe they'll like us more.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
You just never know.
Here's another one. So the secrets of seduction. Do you know how to seduce women?
We've got 22 rules of charisma. So there's rules to being charismatic, I guess, which to me
guess
sounds a little more
so.
structural.
Right.
And
There should be standards, I guess.
I
Standards
guess
to
so.
charisma.
I mean, I felt like charisma was organic, but I guess there's a structure to it.
Yeah. Let's see. There was one part that I thought was a little funny.
The best way to get a girl interested. Oh, I know some
best
guys
way-
who probably need to read
This is
that.
like topics you would read off of like what is it? Those WikiHow with the pictures, and it's just like seducing women. Here's a little picture and some descriptions on how to do it.
I love
7 tips for
that.
bad boys.
That is exactly what this is like.
And this is exactly what it reminds me. I could just go there, look that up, and then the gist of all these books is up on WikiHow probably.
Ways to attract women without saying anything. Ooh, just being the quiet guy. The quiet guy.
Being
in
the
back,
hey,
You know, hey, super quiet.
That's
Just drop your
super
voice down low,
mysterious.
you know.
Shy guy. Hey,
Yeah. It's like, hey, girl.
hey,
Hey, you know where the bathroom is.
hey. I like your hair. I do a lot. That's all I wanted to say.
What if he just goes, "You smell nice"?
Oh, take that big whiff.
Take that Joe Biden.
It probably tells you something about there in here, and probably in the master art of the flirting. Don't take a big whiff.
You know what? It's probably say, "Hey, maybe he needs books to say what you don't do."
Hey, it could be that,
You
right?
know, because you gotta narrow it down. Guys need some. According to this, what I'm learning from this guy, guys really need structure, and they need to be told how something should be done definitively.
Right. You know, what I thought was funny, I can't really find it on here, but was a part where he said ethical ways. These are ethical ways of, approaching women. So I thought, now it just makes you want to think of like the unethical ways to approach women, and maybe those, write a book about that, and maybe that'll help.
Yeah, because you're gonna have the guys with the notepads and the pencils going. Can I touch?
Yeah. There's people
her?
don't really understand all the time. You got to explain both sides to things.
Maybe we'll find it in the 28 crush signals.
28 crush.
Where it's like
signals.
if you touch her, that's a love language.
That's a love language,
like
right?
where can I touch her?
If she stares in your eyes more than 2 seconds, she's
into
in love with you.
She loves you.
She loves you. She wants you.
You might as well pop the question now.
Might as well. Oh man.
So, the reason why I bring this to the table is because this is clearly a scam. Clearly a scam.
Clearly.
Like, I don't know any sane person. There's no person in my life who will legitimately buy this. Well, I may know some people who will buy it, but not to learn from it, but to laugh at it. Which maybe we'll give this scammer some money and we'll buy his books,
right?
Or I'll just go to Pirate Bay and find them there.
Just find them there, yeah.
Pirate them, and then we'll see what he's got to say, and we'll review it. We'll review Masculine Notes.
I think I might actually know someone who would take this serious.
Maybe you can get it and just be like, "Hey, this saved my life." Yeah.
I don't know if I would read this, man. But yeah, I think
spend some time reading
I
it.
don't know if it's worth the $40 with the bundle.
And so I decided to look up what this account is, and it led me to a Twitter account. So it seems like Masculine Ego and Masculine Notes, which are the author of these books, like these terribly edited books. On the bottom, you see the author's note. I don't know any publishing company that will put Masculine Notes on the bottom of the book, so he had to have done it himself.
Right.
It leads me to another account that's just like Masculine Ego. And it's another gimmick account. He even has, this time he has the link to a Telegram. Oh, the good things go down in Telegram, don't you? And he's got the link to his book, his scam right here. Join Unfiltered Telegram channel, seduction coach. Get beautiful women effortlessly. And it's just more of the same garbage that you see from these gimmick accounts, but worse. Never date a woman who's older than 25 as a male. Here's why.
Why is that?
Okay, I mean, we're 25.
Yeah, we're 25. You can't date your age, man.
You can't.
Is he saying date like younger or higher?
Apparently, if we go into these threads, which I have gone before, when I was researching this, that you gotta find a woman in her prime, and I guess a woman in her who's over 25 or at 25 is she's over the hill.
She's just past her prime.
She's just past her prime. She is over the hill. Ways to captivate a woman and make her intimately addicted to you. A thread.
Wait, does he? So he doesn't go on to explain these right here, does he?
He does. So Twitter does this weird thing where you can only see the thread if you're logged in, and I'm not logged in right now.
Oh, I see.
So, but he goes in the same type of misogynistic BS that you'd kind of expect from him or Andrew Tate.
Right.
So that's his thing. I just want one more.
Oh. Wow. Okay. 8 places to touch your woman that will drive her crazy. Insane.
A well-detailed compilation, don't forget. A well-detailed
well-detailed
compilation of how to please your woman / understand her body.
Wow.
Ooh, 8 things women really want in bed. They want to be the very best. No one ever was.
Oh, man. This guy, man. I don't know if I take this guy seriously. I mean, he is verified, so I might just take him up on it.
Hey, well, they're color segregated, like back in Jim Crow era. And on Twitter it's color segregated.
Oh,
so
that's right.
So he's got the blue badge, so it means he's a cuck. You know,
Is that what it means?
it means he's a cuck. You know, because
Oh.
he pays another man to give him validation. You know,
Right.
So
I
that's
see.
essentially
So
cuckery.
He
you know,
pays an alpha male or a beta male.
oh, he is a beta male. You know,
He's a beta male.
He thinks
Acting
he's
like an alpha
alpha.
male.
He thinks he's an
I
alpha.
see.
But ever since Elon came in and took away that whole or unleashed verification for everybody, it's cuckery. It's
It's
true
all
cuckery
cuckery,
because
yeah.
he's paying eight. We know this man is paying $8 a month for for a little sticker. He's paying $8 a month for a sticker on his profile. 8 healthy reasons to have sex every night. All right. Well, I feel like so I just want to tell everybody that this is a scam.
yeah.
Don't buy this book, please. And if you feel like you're
Only if you
having
want
trouble, unless no, not even if you want to, please.
to. Just don't buy this book.
If you need help dating, here's what you do. Okay, here's what you do.
What do you do? What do I have to do?
You talk to other women. Okay.
What if I'm shy? I'm a shy guy. I'm the one he would mention. I'm the shy guy in the back.
you mean to tell me you don't have friends who are girls? You don't have gal pals that you can
Hey,
just
it's
talk
hard.
to?
I'm shy, man. I might just read up these books, man.
Well, you know that's up to you. I'll leave that up to you. I won't leave that up to the audience. Please, for the love of God, do not buy this one bundle. You're gonna lose $40. You have. It's better if you spend those $40 on scratchers. Okay, I'll just say that.
Or at the club.
Or at the club. I don't know what
There you
40.
go.
I don't know what $40 will get you at the club.
Probably just the entrance.
Hey, it'll get you near women,
Exactly. There you go.
and that's closer to women than these books will get you.
Yeah,
Okay?
definitely. Well, see, let us know. Would you buy these books or would you not? What do you think of them?
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below. If you've purchased these books as well. Please,
Hey, we want to hear, some of the content within the books. Maybe it's helpful content. We don't know that. Maybe, it's a book guys can use.
I think so. I think you're right. And so that leads us to a closing of our show. And we have one final segment, and this is a constant segment that we are going to do every week.
Definitely.
We're going to do this every week.
Ooh.
And it's called Florida Man.
Florida Man.
And we're going to talk about one story from Florida, out of Florida. Every week, me and Jay here will post or will present to you one story out of Florida because Florida is just a content farm.
Florida is that interesting. There's a lot of things going on out in Florida.
It is. And Florida is a beautiful state, and it's got some beautiful people, and we're going to display that through the entirety of this entire podcast. So my story starts off in Florida.
Of course.
As a Florida man story, all good Florida man story begins in Florida. The headline from Coral Springs Talk: Man serenades police with NWA's greatest hits from police station parking lot. Gets encore performance in jail.
In jail.
And just look at this guy.
Look, he's happy about it. It's like that was his intention, right? He wanted to get arrested.
He did, and he was he's my favorite guy this week. I think Daryl Medlock is my favorite man. He is a man from Coral Springs, and he faces charges of threatening a public servant following the demand of Coral Springs police officers to meet him in the station's parking lot, where he was playing loudly NWA's song "F the Police." On March 9th, the Coral Springs Police Department responded to a call from dispatch, which reported that a man, later identified as Daryl Medlock, 55, of Margate, was advising officers to meet him in the front of the police station. According to the report, upon arrival at the parking lot where Medlock was positioned inside of his vehicle, officers were met with loud music playing the lyrics that were explicitly derogatory toward police. The situation escalated when officers approached the vehicle and found Medlock and a female companion. They were informed that they violated Florida state statutes for playing music excessively and having a tinted tag cover obscuring the car's license plate. Additionally, Medlock's car was illegally parked in a handicap spot.
You're going to do that at the police station.
According to police, Medlock's response was highly aggressive, and eventually he charged one of the officers, yelling, "Mother effer." The report shows the officer drew his taser in self-defense, and another officer intervened quickly, detaining Medlock before he could reach the officer. Medlock was arrested and transported to the Broward County main jail. The Broward Cowards, as they are known after the Sandy Hook shooting, they're known as the Broward Cowards. The Broward Cowards arrested them. So that was my story. Daryl Medlock, He is a G. He is a mad lad,
He does not care.
and he is my favorite person this week. Maybe that'll be another segment.
At the handicap parking at the police station.
And he charged them.
And
too.
he charged them while playing F the police.
He said, "Cash me outside." How about that?
He did. Actually, he catch me outside of your place. How about that?
Yeah. He said,
I'll
"I
come
got
to
the Addy.
you.
I got the Addy.
I got the
Roll
Addy.
up. Pull up." You know?
Damn, and he brought somebody to watch.
And he brought somebody to watch. That's right.
Hey, this guy, he don't, he don't need those books. He's got a lady.
He's got a lady.
He's got
He
him.
really does. So, what? That's my Florida man story. Jay, what's yours?
See, I couldn't find it again, but it was actually an old story that just kind of seemed funny to me. It's an old story, happened a couple of years ago, back in 2014, I believe, and it's about a man. Let me see. I have it right here. And it's just funny because of the title as well. I know I've told you about this. It was a story about a man who's a quadruple amputee.
Quadruple amputee.
He's a quadruple amputee,
That is quite the story.
and he was being looked for by the police for obviously a crime, murdered his parents.
I mean,
which is it's such a sad story. Honestly, it's bad.
he's a quadruple amputee
Yeah,
that
so
murdered his parents.
murdered his parents. See,
I want to know how he did this.
See, so the story, and honestly, it kind of leaves us wondering what it is, because like the title goes quadruple amputee on the run, armed and on the run,
Armed and on the run.
armed and on the run. You know, funny thinking about it, he's a quadruple amputee, and that's the title that they went with. He's armed and on the run.
It sounds like it's a little hard for him to do that, you know,
It
being
sounds
that he
very
can't hold
difficult.
anything and he's got no legs.
Sounds like the police have a great sense of humor as well.
I love that.
Armed and on the run. I
And the
wouldn't take
journalist
this-
who wrote this article as well.
Yeah, so Jackie Mick, again, back in 2014. So the guy's name is Sean Petrosino. He's armed and on the run, except it's pretty difficult for him to actually be either. Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory, that's right.
So a quadruple amputee, the 30-year-old Petrosino, has been missing since Tuesday morning when both of his parents were found fatally shot in their home. He is currently considered a person of interest on his parents' slaying on Tuesday morning when the above video surveillance image was captured of Orlando Wells Fargo ATM. And he's driving a car. So he's in a car driving around with a gun.
How did he get in the car?
I don't know, dude. He's armed, but he has no hands and no legs.
But he's on the run.
He's on the run. He's driving a car. He killed his parents. Tragedy. But I thought that was funny. It took place out there in Orlando, Florida.
What's the news? Or what's the news article and what year this was?
Yeah, so it's the Orlando Weekly.
Orlando Weekly.
It was on Friday, November 7th, 2014. So again, this was a story that was quite, a couple years back. But again, what caught my attention was the title itself. And it just left me wondering, how this guy's even, possibly able to do any of these things. On the run, he's armed, he's driving a car, he's at a bank taking money out. People haven't seen him. Quite, I don't think it's difficult to see a quadruple amputee just driving around.
That would be the sight to see. And so that was our stories for our Florida man stories.
Yeah.
Those were our
Just something
segments.
small.
They were wild. They were great. And what I hope is on next week's episode that we have the same amount of fun that I think we had today.
Yeah, definitely. Again, episode 1. Not too bad. I'd say we've had a great time. Again, let us know about the segments. What do you guys think? Segments that you didn't feel, segments that you thought were a keeper. But yeah, definitely appreciate the feedback for sure.
So yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel when this goes up. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. As soon as this first episode goes up, you'll start seeing episodes weekly. As we will promise you, we'll go at least for as far as we can.
Yeah.
And please subscribe, share it with your family and your friends. because if depending on the success of this podcast, we'll keep going. So let us know
Yeah.
if you like what you saw today. Next week will be very different. We'll have different
Yep.
segments, but we'll have the same amount of fun. I
Oh, yeah,
think we can
definitely.
say. So thank you all for watching today. And if you're just listening, thank you for listening. Wherever you're listening to it, please share it, subscribe with your friends, share it with your friends, tell them to subscribe too. And we're out.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next
guys.
time, next episode.
Bye-bye.